One other question that we had received is with respect to instrumental mixes, someone asked, do we need the stems of the instros? And the answer is no. For TV productions and film, what we need is the full instrumental of the full arrangement.
Basically the full mix minus the vocal.
Correct. Well said. Yeah, stems would be for if that was for a trailer. But what Chase said, that's spot on. And that was a question, and I'm just going to pull up. I think, Chase, what was another question that we had? Let's see here.
Well, just to clarify on the instrumental point, I think part of that question too had to do with like what is the rationale behind like why they need the instrumentals.
Sure.
For the most part, it's in situations where if the song is required to go underneath dialogue, then they may need to create a version of your mix where the vocals are mixed down. And so to do that, they basically lay the instrumental mix over the top of the full mix. And so by, what's the term I'm looking for? Basically, by it cancels out the level of the vocals. Like you're turning everything else up and keeping the vocal where it's at.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because that's in those cases where there's a scene and the actor's dialogue is competing with your vocal tracks, and then that is the remedy. So that's a good point there. And then someone had asked, do artists ever create alternate mixes for pitching to sync? And my recommendation there, is you craft your that single version. Because if you have alternate mixes and we're pitching both, that can create some confusion there. So having one version, unless of course if it's a remix that completely flips the track and it's a different style, a remix would be something else. But alternate mixes, less so. And
you definitely want to register, especially if you're doing an alternate mix or even a remix. You want to have those registered as two separate songs, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Typically, yeah,
it would be. So you're saying for remix, would you re-register that?
Yeah, potentially. Well, I guess it depends on if you're working with a different group of producers or what it might be. But depending on the situation, you might want to have another registration for that to keep track of which version is receiving what revenue, essentially.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Yeah, and that's a fair point.